Ninth grade slays. Slay. Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So as you've all definitely heard me talk about, I have a very large TBR shelf, and one of my goals for this channel is to get through all of those, but for this year to get through like a nice big chunk of it. So I wanted to make a bunch of videos about all those books, but I figured let's start with a video showing you all every single book on my physical TBR. So I'm going to be going through these by genre, and I'm going to start from the least amount of books in that genre to the most amount. So just to keep it a little bit interesting. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the books. So my first genre with 3 books is sci-fi. So we have 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and Alien by Alan Dean Foster. So my next genre is mystery, also with 3 books. We have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, and The River King by Alice Hoffman. Next, with 4 books, is romance. So we have Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, Fallon by Lauren Kate, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, and Deadly Little Lies by Lori Faria Stolars. Next genre, also with 4 books, is literary fiction. So we have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. The next genre with 5 books is historical fiction. We have Mythology by Edith Hamilton, Letters from Rivka by Karen Hess, Atonement by Ian McGowan, The Crucible by Arthur Miller, and A Short History Woman by Kate Walbert. My next genre with 7 books is dystopian. So first we have Bunny by Mona Awad. Next we have the Hunger Games trilogy, which is a reread, don't worry. So we have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, Clara and the Sun by Kazu Ishiguro, and Wilder Girls by Rory Power. My next genre with 9 books is nonfiction. First we have Moon Magic by Diane Alquist, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, We Don't Need Roads, The Making of the Back to the Future trilogy by Cassine Gaines, The Secret History of Cults by Peter Haining, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Half the Sky by Nicholas D. Kristoff and Cheryl Wooden, You're Not Lost by Maxie McCoy, Reading Lolita in Tehran by Azar Nafizi, and I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. My next genre with 14 books is horror. First we have The Cycle by John Wayne Communal, We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. Next, my massive collection of Stephen King novels. So we have The Bazaar of Bad Dreams, Dr. Sleep, Dolores Claiborne, 4 Past Midnight, Firestarter, Later, If It Bleeds, The Institute, The Outsider, and lastly, The Stand. We also have Asylum by Madeline Rowe, and Goosebumps, The Campfire Collection by R.L. Stine. Next up, with 32 books, is my massive collection of classics. So we have English Romantic Poetry edited by Stanley Applebaum. By Jane Austen, we have Emma, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Northanger Abbey, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories by Lewis Carroll, The Awakening and Selected Short Fiction by Kate Chopin, The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, The Hound of Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle, Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert, A Rubric of View by E.M. Forster, Greek Myths by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I also have The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, but my friend is borrowing it, so it's not in this pile, but I do have it. The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, Moby Dick by Herman Melville, this massive collection of complete tales and poems by Edgar Allan Poe, some Shakespeare works including Hamlet, Macbeth, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet, and a collection of sonnets, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and lastly, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And last but not least, my genre with the most books, which is fantasy with 38 books in total. First we have the Maybird series by Jodalyn Anderson. So we have Maybird and the Ever After, Maybird Among the Stars, and Maybird Warrior Princess. Next up we have a personal favorite, and that is the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd series. So we have 8th grade Bites, 9th grade Slays, 10th grade Bleeds, 11th grade Burns, and 12th grade Kills. And along that we have the spin-off series, The Slayer Chronicles. So we have The First Kill, Second Chance, and Third Strike. Next we have Graceling by Kristen Cashore, The Last Apprentice, Revenge of the Witch by Joseph Delaney, Doctor Who, The Doctor's Lives and Times by James Goss and Steve Tribe. The last 4 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series, so that is Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. Next we have I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, The Second Evern Allen by Megan Nasso. Next we have the Kane Chronicles series by Rick Riordan. So we have The Red Pyramid, The Throne of Fire, The Serpent's Shadow. Also by Rick Riordan, we have the Trials of Apollo series. So we have The Hidden Oracle, The Dark Prophecy, The Burning Maze, The Tyrant's Tomb, and The Tower of Nero. Next we have the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson. So we have The Angel Experiment, School's Out Forever, and Saving the World in Other Extreme Sports. Next we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Next we have Whoology by Cavan Scott and Mark Wright. Last but certainly not least, we have The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien. So we have The Hobbit, of course, and then we have The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Okay, and those are all the books on my TBR. I'm not exactly sure how many. Let me count them super quick.
20 minutes later.
Okay, so that's 119 books total, and I kind of hate that number, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is my favorite book of all time, and it is way due for a reread, so I will definitely be rereading it this year. So let's just add this one and make it a total of 120 books on my physical TBR. So that is quite a lot of books. Definitely not the most I've seen, but still a lot. So I think my goal for this year, 2023, is to get through at least half of them. I hope I can do more. I do have a lot of videos planned for like certain books. I think most of my fantasy series I want to do reading vlogs for. But other than that, I have a few ideas. Let me know if you see any like patterns in the books and you want me to try like a nice little reading challenge or just like an idea for a fun video. All right, that's all I have to say, I think. So thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to take care of yourself today. Bye!